My name is Natalia C. Chacon, and I am a nutritional student in the Introduction to Nutritional Counseling course at the University of Houston. This is part of an assignment in which I am practicing being a nutritional counselor. Do you, Miss Ashley, give me permission to videotape this assignment?
Yes.
Okay. This is also giving me permission, just so you know, 3 of my classmates, a possible dietetic intern, and my instructor will also be seeing this and grading this video. Is that permissible?
Yes.
Okay. With that being consented, I'm going to pull her into the frame. This is the lovely Miss Ashley. If you don't mind, I'm going to be pulling out my pad to take notes. I truly want to establish. All right, Miss Ashley. So, I'm going to bring myself back into the frame. So, tell me how I can help you out today.
I have celiac.
Okay then. So, you have celiac. How did you determine that you have celiac?
I had genetic testing done.
Okay then. So, is celiac very common in your family?
Yes, my mom and both of my sisters have it.
Okay, so this is a very much a genetic prevalent trait then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, tell me, besides the celiac, are you wanting to work out more of maybe like a dietary plan of some sort, or are you wanting to kind of work more on combating symptoms of celiac, I guess?
More of a dietary, because you can't really combat it. You just have to go with the flow for it. So.
Okay. So we're looking at the dietary concerns. So tell me what kind of makes it more difficult for you having celiac?
Being at work. It's at home I can control what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. At work I can't control what other people are doing or what they're bringing in, and it's not always easy at lunchtime when they bring free food and they can't answer your questions.
Okay, so it seems that your coworkers are kind of making it a little bit more difficult for you. How often are they bringing free stuff outside of work?
I'd say about once a week.
Okay, so once a week they're kind of bringing in elements that could potentially be harmful for you. How often, like, I guess, how is your schedule normally for your work day? Like, do you normally take in on this food? Do you normally bring in your own food? What do you kind of do, I guess, for the work week?
For the work week, I usually try and bring my food, but it's not always possible in the mornings. I get a little rushed. So I prep usually a breakfast item to snack on, and then a lunch. But sometimes I pack the lunch without the breakfast, or the breakfast without the lunch, and it would make it a little bit easier if I could eat at work what they're eating, because
Okay. So it seems that it's kind of almost limiting what's kind of happening right now. You're kind of on a time crunch to get to work, and you're trying to make all these meals for yourself because of your celiac. How early is your work day, I guess?
I get up at between 6:30 and 6:50, depending on how many times I touch the snooze button, and then I leave by 7:10, 7:15.
Okay, and then I'm guessing your work day starts around maybe 8:30?
Yes.
So you have a very early morning then. Let's see, this week, and then you're getting at work at around 8 a.m. to 8:30, you said?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. So you have a very early morning then. Give me kind of a rundown of your normal week. Your Monday to Friday, and then your weekend included.
I try to pack as many lunches as I can, but I usually eat out lunch-wise about twice a week. Try not to, but it's not always possible. Sometimes I'm able to pack my lunch the whole week, sometimes I'm not, and I eat out more than I probably should at lunch, but then on the weekends I do a lot of like prepping, deciding what I'm going to cook for dinner and for lunch and for breakfast, and makes things a little difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it what makes it difficult for you to kind of prep your items for the week?
It's just time consuming, and I get home from work and I'm exhausted, so I don't always want to do it at nighttime.
Okay.
So usually I prep something in the morning just before I go, and that's not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, because you're getting up early in the morning. You said normally 6:20 at the earliest to 6:50. My apologies. And then, how late are you coming home?
Anywhere between 5 and 6.
Okay, so 5 and 6.
Which you wouldn't think would be that late, but
After a work day, it's kind of difficult, right?
yeah. There's I usually have like a small snack, something like popcorn or Cheez-Its or something like that. Just a handful of them, and a bottle of water, and then rest for 45 minutes, and then I start cooking dinner.
Okay. So you are still having you're really trying to control your environment then because of your celiac. And the main concern is coming out, I guess, when your coworkers bring elements and you have to eat it, or whenever you go out to eat. Now, whenever you go out to eat, are you kind of double checking these places? Are you doing your research?
Yeah, I do a lot of research in restaurants. I see what kind of menus they have, what kind of advisory things at the bottom of the menu they have, and then I also check their reviews, because sometimes they'll say that they have something gluten-free menu-wise, but then the reviews will be like, don't go here.
Okay. So, to my understanding, when it comes to celiac, there's a lot of different levels. How sensitive are you? Are you the sort that whenever you come in contact with it, you kind of flare up, you notice the symptoms, or is it more of an ingestion of the food? My apologies.
I don't flare up with coming into contact with it. I don't have trouble messing with flour or anything. It's just whenever I eat it, I'll get the skin, rosy type skin, and issues and bumps, and then dry skin, alligator skin.
Okay. So as far as goes as those, you're more of the ingestion sort of elements, and the symptoms you're noticing are the redness and the irritation of your skin then. Anything else you're noticing as far as goes to those digestive concerns or?
Not that I know that they're with celiac. I don't have a gallbladder.
Okay.
So that was taken out, and it had already controlled a lot of my food intake. I can't do a whole lot of greasy or fat foods. Beef's hard, pork's no. Chicken's good. I don't like fish, so I don't eat fish.
Okay then, so as far goes as currently, your diet is already even more restricted then, because you can't consume the additional fats because your gallbladder is no longer available to process it, and you can't have the wheat then. So what can I guess assist you with as far as your journey, because you've already been kind of self-diagnosed and you've gone through the genetic testing. What could kind of help you? What would be your ideal, I guess?
Being able to maybe motivate myself enough to prep at nighttime or even on the weekends. I would like... The problem with prepping at nighttime a lot of times is that I don't always want what I want in the morning. So it makes it a little difficult. So maybe prepping 2 or 3, 4 items, the variety type.
Okay.
Different things rather than just...
Okay, so kind of maybe a bulk sort of thing. What do you normally, I guess, pack yourself for your breakfast or your lunch whenever you're going to work?
Sometimes I'll do a quick breakfast taco, eggs, cheese, bell pepper type thing on a corn tortilla. Sometimes I'll do an Udi's sausage and biscuit, the maple chicken sausage biscuit, which is actually pretty good. But it just depends on how much time I have in the morning and what I'm kind of feeling.
Okay. So, from what you're understanding, you really want to put this extra effort into prepping the things, but because you're waking up in the morning, it kind of makes it more difficult because the desires and the wants. I guess, what kind of shifts you to kind of change your mind in the morning as far as what you want to eat?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sometimes I want fruit at nighttime, and then I won't want it in the morning. But sometimes I want the fruit in the morning, and I won't even think of it the night before. So it just, I guess my appetite changes. what I'm craving changes.
What your craving changes. Okay. So then we mentioned the fact that you really want to prep in the evening. And you have foods that you make in the morning that you really enjoy. You have your tacos with your egg and your cheese, and you have your udis on occasion. With the time constraint and also the kind of variation of what you want to eat, would you want to prepare maybe stuff in bulk that can be long lasting, like stuff that doesn't go to waste or kind of lose its flavor if it's left overnight or left in the fridge afterwards, and then maybe in the morning create some really quick recipes so you can have something kind of to fill your craving, I guess, for the morning.
I'd be interested in that, looking up recipes and stuff.
Okay.
Do something like that.
Some recipes.
I like to look on Pinterest and the DIY the recipes and stuff, the quick and easy stuff. So it's more getting the motivation to do it.
Okay. What would, I guess, help you get the motivation to kind of want to prep in the evening or even prep in the morning?
Probably once I get into it, I'll have the motivation there. I just have to get myself into it because I like to do the easy thing, So once it's proven to be a little bit easier, then I'll probably switch to it. It's just it's getting myself to do it before that.
Okay. What would help you? What would make it kind of more achievable for you? What would make it easier? Would it be? Give me some insight. I want the insight of Miss Ashley's mind.
Maybe writing down specific recipes that are a little bit easier.
Okay. Down some recipes. Okay. I'm gonna mark that one down real quick.
I think maybe doing it right whenever I get home from work. I know I'm tired, but if I sit down, I'm gonna stay sitting down. I usually come home and eat the small snack, and then I get up and make dinner. Maybe making something before I have my snack and make dinner. That might help. Just doing something right whenever I get home rather than waiting.
And kind of relaxing. Think about it almost as like you're rewarding yourself. You're preparing all this food, you get your dinner, and then you get to relax the rest of the evening almost.
I'd like that, yeah.
Yeah, instead of almost breaking up the day where, you're coming home and you're taking your break, and then you're having your snack, you're cooking your dinner, and then you have to look forward to prepping, which might not be the most, desirable, I guess.
The only time I like to do that is when I make brownies, and brownies aren't breakfast.
Brownies aren't breakfast. I mean, whichever you prefer. So let's see. How about, so maybe writing down your recipes whenever you make them. Like, you have, I guess, a couple that you mentioned already that you really like. When you make a recipe, are you going more for time or for flavor, would you say?
Honestly, flavor.
Okay.
I like to cook, and I like it to taste good. I don't like burnt, and I don't like, if the egg's too salty, I'm not going to eat it. Or if the egg's not salty enough, I'm still not going to eat it.
So it's very much a balance on the flavor then. Okay. So with the flavors, like what are the flavors that you're really looking for in your food?
Lunchtime, I kind of like something that's a little bit more hearty. Chicken, broccoli, sometimes mac and cheese that I can warm up. Just something a little bit substantial with the protein. Breakfast, I either like salty or sweet. But I like the breakfast tacos with the salty cheese, or I like fruit and yogurt, and I like I mentioned the breakfast sandwich that's actually sweet.
Okay.
It's got a sweet note. It's like one of those sweet sausages, chicken sausages. So I don't know, I like either or for breakfast.
Okay. So then, how about we work on maybe like you writing down the recipes that you're making, the ones that you really enjoy, the ones that you really like that flavor, and then we focus on the time. Because another thing that you said is that you're getting home, you're already really tired, and I don't want you to have to put this extra energy and you wake up extra tired in the morning just to be kind of like, oh, I made this effort here and I'm not quite feeling it. So, so we can work on maybe creating more recipes for you that are going to give you the flavor, but aren't going to be so time consuming for you to make them.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, with those recipes, I know that you're already focusing very much on the gluten-free aspect, and then the fat you're already also focusing on too, right?
Yes.
So these recipes are already very conscious about the fat content, and of course the gluten-free aspect because you have that sensitivity. Gluten-free. Alrighty then. So we have those established for you. As far as that goal, we have those recipes set up. Anything else that you would want to focus on besides the concerns you were having with, the time and the meal prepping for yourself?
I think I'd like to exercise a little bit more to help along. I used to do yoga really heavily, and I haven't recently, so I think I'd like to set up a schedule where I do it like once or twice a week again. Maybe on weekends or something, just to keep myself a little bit more active, because I'm more prone to eat the fruits and the veggies and all that when I'm active.
Okay. So was yoga like really relaxing for you, or was it more of like a physical activity? Because I know there are different types of the yogas.
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd get really angry at yoga, and it would be more of an exertion than, because when you're angry, you're working hard, you're harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'd be more of a physical thing, and then sometimes it was really relaxing. That's what I liked about yoga, is it could shift with what you were doing.
Okay. So adding maybe that aspect of yoga, would it be kind of help with the motivation? Would it help you kind of relax and feel less tired after work, would you say?
I think so, which is why I'd like to look into doing it more, because I have been really tired after work, and I'm not liking that.
Okay, so maybe have you I know you're really big into research, have you investigated maybe locations where you can do yoga or opportunities to do yoga for yourself?
I've looked at a few different studios. A lot of them don't do after 6, so that makes it a little difficult. But I've also looked at the videos, because I'm proficient enough that I can do it by myself.
Okay.
So I have looked at videos online. It's just getting the gumption to actually start playing the video and doing it in the living room. But I do know I get more motivated whenever I'm surrounded with a group, so I think I need to look a little bit more heavily into classes that...
Okay. So maybe locating a group class of some sort with your time availability that can work with you, so that you can get that ability to kind of relax and get more motivated. You said maybe focusing more towards the weekend, right? Because you were having issues finding classes after work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably more of a weekend class, and then supplementing at home once I get more into the routine of it. Yes.
Okay. How much time would you normally devote to yoga?
An hour.
An hour? Okay. So an hour.
30 minutes isn't enough. 90 minutes is too much.
So it's that sweet medium then. Okay, so an hour you're normally devoting. So then how about we have one of your goals as starting to write down your recipes and kind of motivate yourself to prepping up those meals. How about, would you like to establish a goal of maybe locating a class and maybe trying to start taking up yoga again for your sake?
Yes. I've already started looking for classes. It's just a matter of finding either someplace close to home or close to work, or there's not a whole lot of yoga studios in this area or in Pasadena.
Okay.
They're all in Clear Lake.
Okay. So it makes it very difficult then. Okay. So how about we'll set up the next time we meet then we'll kind of go through and get some ideas. Something that's very locale for you maybe, or just easily accessible, because the one thing that we had was your constraint was the time and also the location. So really finding a place that works for you, not making you work the extra mile then.
Yeah.
And
I know they have like gyms and stuff close to work that do yoga, but they're Pilates yoga. And that's not yoga, that's just Pilates.
So you want the truly like yoga. What is the yoga that you enjoy the most, I guess?
I like the slower yoga, not the more meditative, dark room, candle.
Meditative yoga.
Yeah, where the poses, you hold the poses for 5 to 10 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds, rather than just moving from pose to pose to pose. I don't like that.
So you really enjoy the kind of elongation of your body, the relaxing movement of your body. Okay. So then let's really focus then on finding you a group or even a class that truly focuses on that. Don't limit yourself by maybe making it a class. Maybe there are groups that are available that kind of get together and they do stretches and they focus on yoga. Because part of the research should be seeing all the possibilities that are available for you, making it truly accessible for you.
I didn't think of that actually.
So I'm glad that we kind of got to that then. So establishing the working on the recipes and maybe adding an element of yoga to help you kind of relax a little bit more and work out a little bit more. I like it, Miss Ashley. Alrighty then, anything else that you want to kind of talk about more, maybe bring up about diet or exercise?
I would like to look into stuff to help my skin a little bit more.
Okay.
Not necessarily like pre-made creams, but stuff that's researching stuff that's like more homeopathic. So I don't know. I could do it here at home without worrying too much.
Okay. So more of a natural take on skincare then. You did mention that it was the bumpiness and the irritation of the skin. Have you consulted yet maybe with a general doctor or a dermatologist?
About 6 months ago in the UK, whenever I got genetically tested for the celiac thing, because that was the main concern. That's what brought me to get the genetic testing, because I knew that skin problems was one of the signs. My mom had eczema on her hands. Well, it was diagnosed as eczema, but it really wasn't.
Okay.
So I knew that it was a possibility, and I mentioned it to my doctor, and they're like, well, let's get you tested. And that's kind of how it started.
Okay. So you've already gone through the testing, and they already kind of said this is linked to this. And since you're already making so much effort as far as what you're eating, and you're very conscious about that, would you want to go see maybe like a dermatologist again, so they can maybe help define it a little bit more?
I think so, eventually, yeah. It's a little hard time constraint wise with work. Getting the time off actually to go to a doctor's appointment. I've already taken all of my vacation days for the year, which will be coming up soon. So
okay then. So how about, we have already 2 main goals. How about we establish that maybe within the next time that you talk to your supervisor, maybe, so that you can find some time to kind of go and take this time for yourself. Because I know that it's very much a concern, and you wanted to get that addressed.
Yes.
And within this time frame, we could devote some effort into like looking for the more natural remedies for your skin.
That's kind of what I'd like to do, yeah.
Okay, so then dermatologist will be far later on, but maybe researching a little bit more on what elements could help kind of soothe the redness. You said it was redness and bumpiness, right? So redness and bumpiness of the skin. And what I can do for you, Miss Ashley, is that next time we'll meet, we'll definitely go over these goals. We'll kind of see where we're at with that. Anything else that I could help you with besides, talking to you about recipes and kind of helping you motivate you on this journey?
Just giving some insight, I guess, on what I've come up with so far.
Okay.
I know that all the information that I'll find isn't going to necessarily help or be helpful towards this, so I guess more insight on that would be great.
Okay.
But other than that, I think helping me set the goals was good. Maybe keeping up with me in the goals would be good.
Yeah. What I can do for you then is, with my expertise, I can definitely sit down with you more, and we can go over the recipes you're making to see what we can kind of add or integrate that might also help soothe your skin, because a lot of the things that we're seeing externally are very much reflective of our digestive system. So what we can do is whenever you create a recipe, you can send it to me and I can sit down and kind of look at it and see, okay, well, what could be maybe causing more of this flare up and what can be added to kind of help alleviate it too. So definitely with the recipes aspect, I can help you out with that. And then we can further sit down and see what locales we can find for your yoga and then even for your skincare too. I'll see if I can find anyone else to help out with that. Alrighty then. Well, thank you so much, Miss Ashley, for your time. When will we see each other again?
I can't do in 2 weeks, but I can do in like 3-4 weeks. Yes.
Okay, so maybe within 3 weeks we can meet up again and truly discuss it. And
I'll be out of town next week, and the week after that I'll be partially out of town.
Okay. So 3 weeks physically, maybe meeting up face to face, and then if you would like, we can be in contact through email or maybe even through email is going to be the best outlet, so that we can look and analyze some of the recipes you start compiling too. And what we can do is I can help you kind of break down the recipes and also see how you're keeping track as far as the prepping of the meals too. Alrighty then. Thank you so much, Miss Ashley.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go turn off the camera now. Oh, sorry for all the noise I'm making.